Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Let me introduce myself. I'm Heather from Sailor Sky Inspirations, and I'm creating these videos to journal my journey to a healthy and better life. I'm also a Reiki 1 practitioner, and I like to share those videos as well on my channel, so I hope you enjoy those. Today's message and thoughts are change your mind, change your life. So I have been receiving this message for the past week about the thoughts that I'm thinking and the beliefs that I have in myself. So when you're on a healing journey, your mind plays a pivotal role in how you live your day-to-day life. The thoughts that we think are what set the tone. And a lot of these thoughts and beliefs are programmed into us. They come from our ancestors. They come from our parents. They come from teachers that we had growing up. And some of these programming they're not the best programs for us. And it's nobody's fault that we have these beliefs and these programs because everyone is doing their best and passing down what they were shown. But as times move forward, we are starting to realize that some of these old programmings and mindsets just don't resonate with the energy of the times right now. So if you struggle like I do, and I have struggled for a while, really starting to focus in on what you're thinking each and every day and your thought pattern. Sometimes we just let our thoughts roll us. They just roll our day, whatever pops into our head, we just take it and run with it. So for example, you have the thought of, I'm not good enough. This person doesn't like me. Do we have to believe that? No. So as I was on this journey, doing lots of reading, watching many videos, just really diving into the inner work, the message that came across was that our thoughts, we can choose our thoughts. Now, when you've lived 35, 40, 50, 60 years with the same thought pattern and beliefs, it's going to be a little difficult to change those habits and those thoughts, but it can be done. It's going to take work. It's going to take time and effort. It is going to take a conscious effort that when a negative thought comes into your mind, that you have to change it. So for me, it's if there's a negative thought, okay, it comes in, I don't have to ruminate on that thought. Yes, it was negative. Yes, I see it. I realize that it came in, but I don't have to take it any further. So, for example, with the I'm not good enough. Okay, the thought I'm not good enough comes in. Okay, I realize that it came through, I'm not good enough. Well, I'm not going to take that and I'm going to change my thought pattern to no, I am good enough. I am doing my best. We'll even throw in you made a mistake. Okay, I am good enough. I made a mistake. I am loved even though I made the mistake, and I can choose better next time. This is going to take a lot of practice to do that because the amount of thoughts that we have in our mind each and every day, there's lots. There's hundreds, if not thousands of thoughts that pop into our head each and every day. And if we're thinking of the same kind of thoughts over and over each day, it's going to be difficult to change that pattern. But you can. If it helps, when those negative thoughts come in, if you're able to at that moment to write it down, visualize that thought, and how can you spin that to be the most positive version of that thought. So I read a quote, and this really just a light bulb went off when I read this. And it was, if a belief does not feel like the most loving perspective you could take, then it is best not to indulge in it and choose differently. Like, that's fantastic. I've never thought of it that way. So if a thought comes in and if it is not the highest version of good of that thought, then you know what? We're not going to engage it. We're going to let it go and try to think of something more positive, put a positive spin on it. So that being said, when negative thoughts come into our mind, they can snowball so quickly that we're just like down this path of spiraling negativity. And that's okay when that happens because we're human. We're going to think negative thoughts. It's when we can stop the thought process, take a step back, look at where is this thought coming from? Why am I thinking this? What is the root problem of this thought? And really dive into yourself and think, okay, why is that thought coming up? Where have I not felt good enough? Or that someone's not going to like me? Where was I shown that in my life? That I can go back and say, oh, okay, when I was in 5th grade, the teacher told me that I didn't do my best. I was never going to be good enough, blah, 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 whatever. And you can tell yourself now that that's not true. It will never be true. I am good enough. I will always be good enough. I am human and I make mistakes. We all make mistakes. There's nothing wrong with making mistakes. It's just learning from a mistake, choosing to do better, and doing the inner work. So if you can, visualize your mind as a big radio that is just constantly taking in frequencies, all of these thoughts coming in from outside of yourself. And if you land on a station that is more negative, not so positive, it's like, okay, this is not good for me. I'm going to change the station to something more positive. And focus on what you desire and what you want. When we start focusing on what we don't want and what is not good for us, that is what we're putting our attention to. That is what we're drawing into ourselves. And I find myself doing this too still, that I will get hooked on something and I'll be focused on it and it might not be the best. And before you know it, I have created this big story in my head, and now it's starting to I'm starting to bring that into my life. So I also need to work on the focus part too. So when you can, focus on what you do want. Focus on the positive. And please remember that if you are needing, therapy or, mental health advice, please do that. This channel is not, I'm not a medical professional or a therapist or anything like that. So always do get and seek the medical help that you need. So I'm going to end the video here, but I hope it was helpful, and I hope you enjoyed my little tidbits on, focusing your thoughts, changing your mind, and changing your life. Your thoughts are important. You are important, and you can change your life however you want to. It's never the end. There's always a choice and there's always a way. All right, everyone. I love you so much, and I will talk to you later. Bye.